All right, is your teen struggling? If they are not alone.
There has been a surge in behavioral health care visits, and Dr. Laura Saunders from the Institute of Living is joining us now to talk more about how much trouble they've been having. Hi, Dr. Laura.
Hello, friends, and happy Wednesday. It's a great day, Connecticut.
It is a great day, Connecticut. All right, so tell us, why are so many teens struggling? I think I've got a few ideas, but fill us in.
So that's where we start. We start with some speculation. What we know from last week's Hartford Courant article is that behavioral health care visits are 3 times what they were in the summer. Okay, wow. So as psychologists and as critical thinkers, what we ask ourselves is, why now? So why now is there such a surge in teens that are struggling? Do I think the global pandemic has played a role? Absolutely. I do think that we typically see difficulty about a month into school because the adjustment period's over and, now they have to sort of settle in, but there's some certain factors that are making this year harder. Factor number 1, 18 months is a long time in the life of a child, right? For us, young folks, not quite teens, but young, 18 months is not that long in the course of our life. But 18 months in the life of a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old is a huge chunk of their lives. And so these restrictions have become draining. And let's think about the last 18 months. Hybrid, remote, in person, sometimes rotating, makes a completely unpredictable pattern. And the structure and routine are what children thrive on. Yes. And it's two factors why they've been struggling.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think it could be anything to do with the fact that they might not have gotten as much education during the pandemic and now they're back in school and they're expected to know things that they might have missed?
Absolutely. So let's think about it. I mean, as adults, we're not always well equipped to just learn via, the computer. We need something much more kind of interactive. It's not that different for a lot of kids. And I'm focusing a little bit more on teens. Not that losing 4th and 5th grade wasn't, devastating in the life of an elementary school kid. It was actually probably harder on the parents because they had to monitor things more closely in elementary school. High school kids, I think, were left more on their own. But now they're back. Now they're just in the groove. I think a lot of them have big gaps in learning. So because they just missed things, they just didn't pick up the concepts in the same way via hybrid or in Zoom or the back and forth. And so they're missing chunks of information. Things are starting up again unless schools are really taking the time and the care to go back and make sure they have that knowledge base. And sometimes it's in a course before the course that you might be teaching. I think those gaps in knowledge are creating learning deficits. They're creating increases of anxiety. And that could certainly be a factor in the great distress that some of these individuals are experiencing.
Yeah, we only have a minute left, but what do we do as parents if you start noticing? Because it's like, well, you got to go to school and you got to deal with these things, but you're noticing they're melting down.
So I do think it's important to check with school support personnel, get their sense of how kids are doing. If you are in crisis, an urgent evaluation, you can call 211 Emergency Mobile Psychiatric Service. Each town or community has resources, counseling, financial help, food banks. We try to reserve the emergency room for life-threatening emergencies, danger to self, danger to others. But know that these teens are acutely aware of what they've missed, and it puts a lot of pressure on them. So let's be a little kinder and gentler to each other and try to talk to your teens and find out what's going on.
All right. Well, that's excellent advice. Thank you, Doctor. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Laura.
Have a great day.
You too.